Yeah, you're welcome to this video. We are on step number 3. But before we go on with this step, I want us to quickly look at something that is very important. Remember that we have paid for a domain name and we have paid for the hosting. Now, meaning that we already have an account with Namecheap. So what we need to do now is let's go to the dashboard. Let's go to the dashboard. You see, this is my name on the dashboard because I have an account with them and I have bought the domain and the hosting. Now, after you have bought that, paid for the domain and the hosting, a series of mail would have been sent to your inbox, to your Gmail, the email address that you registered this account with. So, with a where you need to confirm an email. One, then they would have sent login password for you to access the this particular aspect that I want us to discuss right now. And what's this aspect? This is the domain name that we have just paid for. If you this is exactly what you will be seeing if you are following these steps. You have the domain name. If you hover over this, okay, let me scroll up a little so that you can see. All right. Now we want to go to the control panel of Namecheap so that I can show you some things that will be needing and that will require in that place to enable us continue this course. Now this is the hosting, the hosting this is the hosts. So once you hover over it, you see go to cPanel. Go to cPanel, you click and it will bring you, it's redirecting to cPanel. cPanel means control panel. Control panel. Let's wait for it. Okay. Now, welcome to your new hosting account. cPanel is here to help. Good. Hope you are following this. This is what you will see on the cPanel. You have exclusive for Namecheap customers. Exclusive for Namecheap customers. You have the email. The email is what you need when you want to set up your email, custom email and the rest. Then you let's scroll down. We have the files, file transfer protocols. This is you only be needing this if you can code, if you can actually code a website from scratch. So if you are going to be using WordPress, you may not really have to bother about that. You have your database, you have your domains. Then we have this metrics security. All these are words, as time goes on, you get to familiarize yourself with and know how to use them appropriately. Now here you have where you have WordPress and some other software that we might be using. But in this for this course, we are using WordPress. So let's see. Let's go to the the domain session first. Let me explain something to you at the domain session. So for the domain, this .com, we have just created a domain right now, which is the main domain here. The main domain. That will be the main domain. If okay, deep stack, look at it, main domain. Main domain. Now, if we are going to be adding another domain, it will no longer be main domain. Remember that for this particular host, we can host for this particular package, we can host three different domains, three different websites, which is three different domain names. So you can also host a subdomain on that same main domain. Then for your email, you can set up your email. For instance, you can have so you can always have you can have so this feature lets you create and manage email accounts. Wants to learn more, you can read the documentation here. It's as easy as that. Once you set up the name, you just create, and it will automatically create an email address for you. Create an email address for you. But we'll still come to that. Let's see. Let's go back and see what else we need to do here. All right. Let's go to our password section. That should be security. Reference. Okay. Look at password and security. So you know that Namecheap has already sent username and password to you in your email, but you need to change it. And this is where you do that. This is where you do just that. So I hope you understand what the C panel is talking about before we move ahead to the main topic, the main step that we're going to be doing in this video, which is step 3. Step 3, this thing is kind of slow. Why is it this slow now? Okay, yeah, pause it. So, guys, I needed to first of all pause so that I can change the password. I had the old password copied from the email sent to me by Namecheap. I've entered my own password. This is a confirmation password, and you can see it's green, very, very strong, 100 over 100. So I can click on change password. So I've been redirected to this page where I would need to log in. So I need to go copy my username again. So hold on. So I can actually reset my password and username because it's not the username sent to me. So I'm resetting. So guys, I've been able to log into my cPanel account. So this is my cPanel. Let's take a look once again because we're going to be working on some of these control panel items. Like the email, we'll be working on the email right very soon. We'll be talking about the domains. Then we'll talk about the security. I have just changed the password. So before they brought me here, so I can log in now and do whatever I need to do. Then now meanwhile, some series I said it earlier on that series of mails will be sent to your email box that you registered with. So for instance, you might need to know what a name server is. For instance, you have a domain previously registered and you need to link it with the host that you have just paid for. So you can follow the instruction by getting the name server or DNS. DNS means domain name server, or for short, name server. So for instance, the domain name server that I'm using right now is Namecheap. It's Namecheap. But the they usually there's a code attached to that name chip. For instance, you have DNS1 dash name chip, some figures attached to it. DNS2, the same way like that. Those are what you'll be needing to, in case you want to use another domain previously registered on this same host. So let's go ahead. Now, I'll be talking about, first of all, let's take a look at this domain. Now, this domain is what we are just paid for. So it is the main domain. You can see it's the main domain. If you want to create another domain, for instance, you click this to create that domain. You click this to create the domain. Let's go back and let's talk about the like this add-on domain. Add-on domain. Now, this create an add-on domain. For instance, you want to create beer, beer.com or beergeeks.com. This is new domain. No, this domain, we if we add it, it will now be part of the main domain that we already have in the same host. Take note, in the same host, they are having the same host, but they are different domain names. Now let's go back to the C panel again, to that panel. Then we have subdomains. If you want to create a subdomain, is for instance you have learn. Let's say learn. So the final domain that we are going to have is learn.deepstack.com because it's a subdomain of deepstack.com. So that's how we can create that. You just click create and it will be created for you. Now, okay, we are the email session. If I want to create a custom email, for instance, for this particular website, we can create as many emails as possible, maybe for staff, for the website itself, I mean for the company itself. Then we can create for websites, for individuals, the staffs, and just custom email that is related to this website. So you click on email account and click create. So take a look at email, enter your email address, username. The username is what you are going to add, and it's going to be having a suffix of at deep, deepstack.com. So for instance, for this website, let's have info at deepstack.com, or let's use help desk, help help at help at deepstack.com. Set password now, send login link to alternate. Okay, let's send the link to an alternate email address, so that in case you forget your email to your username and password in order for you to log in into this email, you can always access it with an alternative email address. So let's enter alternative email address. In my case, I'm entering this Gmail account. Yours may not necessarily be Gmail account, it may be Hotmail account or Yahoo account, as the case may be. So you have Once you click create, it will be created. Information, creating email. Look at it's created. Success. You created help at deepstack.com. So that's an email created. I hope you understand this. So you can create as many email as you want, as many staff that you have in your organization, you can create email for them. Guys, sorry, I needed to make this allocated storage space unlimited. So I have to click this. I have to click that. And depending on what you want, receiving incoming mail, allowed. Sending outgoing mail, allow. Logging in, allow. Now, depending on the control you want to give it, so you can, you are seeing update email setting here because I have to click manage on the other side to get to this place. So instead of showing me create, which it showed me the first time, it's showing me update email settings. So it's just settings that I did here. So sources, that's it for that. So we're back to the email panel. Now we'll be talking about these email forwarders. Email forwarders. Let's click and see. The fast. Sometimes this network can be very disappointing. When you expect them to be very swift, it tends to be something else. Here we are. Add add forwarder. Add forwarder. So address to forward. Address to forward is help at help, yeah. And the domain is this, help. The domain is this. Then you are forwarding it to forward to this address. Forward to this address. So you can just add forwarder by clicking this. So all emails sent to help at deepstack.com will now be copied to this Gmail address. So we'll be talking about file manager on this panel, the file panel. So the file manager looks like this. When you click this is what you get. These files, you have a number of files here. This public HTML, look at the www. These are the things that you see in those files. Okay, so this is what will display for for the public to see, what they will see by the time it is running. This is what will be displayed for the public to see, which is dependent on what files that you have uploaded to these files, to these folders, as it were. All right. So we the next thing we are going to be doing is installing WordPress. WordPress is software we shall be using to design our websites. We have under this Softaculous app installer, you have WordPress. We need to install it. But let's go up to do the installation. You have exclusive for Namecheap customers. So Softaculous app installer will click. Meanwhile, before, remember this is the third step in the 5 steps to designing a website. Now, before we install this WordPress, I want us to take a look at why we are using WordPress. Before we install this WordPress, I want us to take a look at why we are using WordPress. Now, WordPress is 1/3 of the total website worldwide. Most of the websites that you see, they are based on WordPress. I'll show you examples later. WordPress is flexible and adaptable for changing needs. WordPress is user friendly, even for beginners. WordPress themes offer multiple options. WordPress plugins, they extend functionality. WordPress sites rank high in Google. WordPress sites are mobile responsive. WordPress sites have a built-in blog. WordPress community offers support. There are so many advantages with WordPress that you cannot get with other software. So the reason why software is very popular. So let's go back to install the application for our use. So you see WordPress here. You have other things that you can install, but definitely we are installing WordPress. So click install. So you fill out the this form.